Justin, is there a segment that you'd like to do?
Of course. Well, there's a reason that Santa is here today. It's not just like, hey, let's get Santa on. This was last week we had a very important segment where I told everyone I was going to make a top 10 list of questions I want to ask Santa. I wrote Santa a letter. I did do that. I said I would. I did do that. And then now that's why he's here and that's why he agreed to come here.
Yeah, and we appreciate it.
And we've been kind of putting it off because it is a little 60-minute-ish. It's going to be the questions you would ask maybe a president who just maybe, got in the office or declared war or something. Like, these are going to be questions that, I'm a little nervous to ask, but as a professional journalist, I will be asking with the utmost sincerity and looking for the best possible questions for the viewers to learn more about Santa Claus and his process and maybe a little bit about his life, but we won't go too personal.
Oh, of course. And, I respect your journalistic integrity. I'm an open book.
Yes, so I appreciate you being here first and foremost here, and then Nick and Eamon will also be here to moderate, of course, if things, if things get a little much, but I don't expect them to be because so far you've been a really reasonable man. I've had quite an enjoyable time.
Oh, likewise,
talking to you.
This has been wonderful, boys.
Yes,
yeah, we've had a lovely time with him as a guest on a radio show.
I think this was perfect. Nothing could ruin my time on this show.
Yeah,
well, good. So I'm glad that we're going to get into some questions here. So my number one question I asked, or my number 10 question technically from last week is, Santa, I'd like to ask about your weight. I mean, specifically the fact that you are you are what we classify in America as obese. I have a stat here, and I just want to put this out there to hear your comments on it. We had reports that your weight has jumped from 260 to 580 within the past 12 years, and I was just wondering what that is and how you're dealing with that, and maybe go into that a little more about your weight.
Sure. Well, it's a somewhat difficult thing to talk about because I've always been a bigger boy. Even as when I was young, I've always been big. I've been this size for a long, long time. And, in terms of weight loss and all that stuff, it can be a struggle to put on weight or take off the weight or keep it's tough, for anyone out there who's lost a lot of weight, like sometimes it can come right back on and sometimes it can come back more. And, it's a constant struggle, again. I deal with candy and all sorts of sweets all the time, and a lot of the year I will just be sedentary, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle, and
well, is there if I may ask, again, not to be too personal, is there a reason for the swing up in weight? You said that it can pack back on. You seem like you've been having a steady, similar life for the past couple centuries now, so I'm wondering what maybe happened to swing back up, especially since we live in an America specifically that really focuses on weight loss, especially in children and stuff. That started with Michelle Obama, of course. So I was wondering,
Barack.
Yeah, I was wondering what you had to say to that, especially since so many kids look up to you, like what you're doing to either combat that or maybe deal with or have anything to say about that.
Well, of course. I mean, like I said, it's a tough subject because you don't want to body shame. Everyone is beautiful. I really, truly mean that. But, weight, especially in America, it's been a problem for a while. And I see, all these other countries, they have a less sedentary lifestyle. And now America's come out with Ozempic. And that's a little scary, I will say. Someone told me, "Hey, Santa, you should go on that." And I said, "Are you kidding? Do you want a Jack Skellington Santa Claus? Because that's what you get. A bunch of loose skin too. I'll tell you that."
Oh yeah.
But nowadays, I try to, I used to drink Coca-Cola. TM, but I switched over to Coke Zero. Tastes just as good, and there's less sugar in there. So let me tell you, my weight, my waistband, it's been a little bit easier to maintain. I go on walks, just little easy things. You got to keep an active lifestyle,
Okay.
The problem with me when I gained it was, frankly, Netflix. All my favorite shows were on there, and I had a year in between, and instead of going for my walks, I just watched a lot of The Office. I watched Parks and Rec. I watched, anime. Lots of stuff. Anything that was on there. You can stream anything on there. It's unbelievable. So, Mrs. Claus came in and she said, you gotta go for some walks. So, okay, you gotta just pick it up.
Okay.
Thank God for my wife. I mean, if I didn't have her, I would just be a slop, just in the corner. I wouldn't do anything. I love her to death.
Sure. Okay, so that leads me to one of my questions. We'll skip ahead here about Mrs. Claus.
Oh, yeah.
I had questioned, it was my number 6 question of last week was, does Mrs. Claus have any kind of, any rights?
What do you mean? What?
I know that's a little brash of me to kind of throw out there. Does Mrs. Claus have like?
Do you think it's the 1950s, son? What the heck do you mean?
Well, I'm saying that like we don't hear much from Mrs. Claus. We don't see many appearances from Mrs. Claus. We don't even really know what she does within the North Pole. So if you could maybe elaborate on this, that might help us understand more. Because from an outside perspective, from both a citizen's perspective, it seems like Mrs. Claus may be, I don't like using this word, maybe trapped in a sense. Like, would she have a right to, leave if she really wanted to? Could you fill us in a little bit?
Trapped? Of course she could leave. She's my wife. She's not a servant or anything like that. She's my partner. And in many partnerships, you can't do everything. I'm the face. My wife does so much. She does so much. I love my wife. I mean, I couldn't even begin to tell you how much she does. I mean, obviously, I work hard too, and we have an organization, but much like Michelle and Barack, it's like that's a team. We're just like Michelle and Barack Obama. Mrs. Claus and Mr. Claus, we're exactly like the Obamas.
Well, have you had problems with your marriage in the sense that if you are the face of a marriage, has there ever, for centuries now, has there ever been any kind of button heads or any problems with your marriage because you are the face of the marriage?
Oh, I mean, maybe towards the beginning. Absolutely. And I mean, there's, I'm not perfect. Sometimes all that attention goes to my head. And Mrs. Claus, she brings me back down to the ground. And not in a bad way. She really is. She's the love of my life. I love her. I really do. Well, she's a hell of a woman.
I don't want to make this too much of like a gotcha question, but I will say when Austin asked if she had rights, you said, what is this, the 1950s? But you've been married to Mrs. Claus for centuries.
So was that ever?
Well, let's just say, it's okay. Relationships grow, they change, they wither, they grow, they wax, they wane. Yeah, we've had different roles throughout our time together, but I don't think we need to go any further than that. We were a little bit more traditional back in the day, but it's 2025.
You're a modern man.
We're modern.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And she's always been, I've always loved her. It hasn't always been the same, but we've been with each other for a long, long time, boys. Do you understand what that's like? Have you ever been married?
I assumed it would be hard. That's why I'm asking these questions.
Very hard.
We don't know so that's why I was asking you about your marriage.
That's fair. That's fair. Sorry. But no, at the end of the day, me and Mrs. Claus, we love each other very much. And relationships are always changing and growing and evolving. And if they didn't, that's when we probably would see a death of our love in our marriage. And luckily, we haven't had that happen just yet.
Well, that's fantastic. Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, Martha. I love you.
Oh, wow. Okay, Martha Claus. Very cool.
Martha Claus.
That's the same name as
Superman
and Batman.
Batman.
That's awesome.
Is that how you guys fell in love?
That must be, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And
I saw that movie and I went, I don't care for this. And then they said, Martha, and he went, that's my mom's, and I went, what's my wife's name? And I went, you've done it again, Schneider. I think they need to re-release the Schneider cut.
Yeah.
Wow, re-release
Martha is also the name of one of the characters in Wake Up Dead Man, which you watched recently.
Yeah, I didn't like that character though. But
yeah. Again, not to be any kind of gotcha question here, Santa. Santa, I'd like to dive into your production. And specifically with your carbon emissions and other kind of waste management, if you don't mind.
Carbon what?
So as being a giant, presumably we don't know what the North Pole looks like, but if you're making presents for presumably, billions of children. Yes, everyone. Billions of people, 8 billion people, we'll just use that number as the population. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So I'm assuming that creates a lot of smoke, carbon emissions, pollution, possibly like sewage and whatnot. So I was wondering what you do to do that. We have a lot of companies nowadays that are trying to leave a better green thumb on the world. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering what the North Pole was doing to combat, the polar ice caps melting, the ozone layer, the climate change, all that stuff. So I was wondering what the North Pole does about that.
I don't want to show you too much about how the sausage is made. I think that would ruin the magic. And the polar ice caps, they're doing just fine.
Oh, so the polar ice caps are not melting.
At least where I'm at, it's always winter up there where I'm at.
Well, sure, but with the ideology is that the North Pole's in the very center of that field.
Yeah, have you spent much time like couple hundred miles away from the North Pole?
I've been all over the.
Sure. You fly over it.
Yeah. We're not questioning your knowledge here. I'm just saying that we have stats of the polar ice caps melting. Polar bears populations are down, seal populations. This is affecting wildlife and nature. So I was wondering what you're doing if your operation is aware of that and doing anything about that.
Well, we kind of we keep to ourselves, and we're just here to bring jolly and cheer and presents to children. That's
Well,
what
okay, I
say.
have some numbers for you if you don't mind. So, like,
Sure, bring them on.
we
I'm
just
an open book.
got reports that AI used more water than we did drinking this whole year.
Oh no.
The use of AI. So, do you yourself use any kind of AI or anything like that as
No,
well in your operations?
absolutely
then?
no.
Okay, that's great.
Absolutely not. For the record, Santa Claus will never use AI.
Okay, very good.
Built by hand. All right? Yeah, thank you.
Wow, a true saint.
Yeah.
I will say though that we do have records that the North Pole has reported a 39 GT, which is slightly more than General Electric. That's a carbon emission
I
scale.
don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Okay, so 39 GT is like a carbon emission scale. That's how much you're producing per year. And General Electric, which is one of the biggest companies in the world, only
Yeah.
produces a 36.9. So you're ranking higher than General Electric in terms of
that's
carbon
good.
emission.
Oh, that's bad.
Yes, that's bad. That causes ozone problems, weather changes, erratic.
Does the workshop run on like coal power?
Well, it runs on magic. All those emissions. For all I know, those emissions they must be from scientists from maybe from one of your cities, but not from us, not from the North
Oh,
Pole.
so this number that I gave you, you're claiming is not from the
Nope,
North Pole.
couldn't be from us. Absolutely not.
Okay, well, I will say that this is from you have a good couple, like, 100 miles of surface area, and I think these readings are pretty accurate that they're coming from there.
Well, I don't think anybody's coming anywhere near my shop.
A lot of it probably, think about like the greenhouse gases that are produced for herding reindeer, for cultivating that agriculture, methane gas, growing food for them, like that's a whole industry in and of itself.
What are we getting into here, huh?
No, I was just asking what your thoughts were on that number. I also have another number for you that the North Pole has produced about 6 million metric tons of plastic from their wrapping paper. And to put that in perspective, the Coca-Cola company does an average of 3 million for their plastic bottles. So you're doubling the Coca-Cola's plastic production. So I want your thoughts on that as well.
Let me ask you a counter question. How do you like your gifts?
Oh, I love
like
it's
your
a
presents?
wonderful gift.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
thank
fun,
you.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Did you do anything other than sit on your butts to get those gifts? Maybe be nice, sure.
Yeah,
but
I thought
did
it was
you
a pretty
bring
good boy
boy
this year.
hands?
Yeah, no.
No. We're not trying to make
produce
this. No, we're not trying to make this any hostile. I
So
just
what you're trying
want
to say is that I should stop making gifts for millions and billions of children around the world.
no,
Is that
that's
what you're
not the
saying,
thing.
James Austin Black?
maybe if we go with a more biodegradable wrapping paper, like paper wrapping paper and stuff.
sure.
I just didn't know if I just was.
Hey, I'm open. I'm an open book.
I know. I was just
I'm an open book.
okay. I was
I'm
wondering.
open to your suggestions, okay?
Okay, I was wondering if your production house had looked into maybe doing that.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna move on from that. I think let's get a little more jolly, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's move on. Yeah,
Okay. So a lot of
is this almost done?
no, just a couple more. It's okay. We have a
I got a lot of-
We don't mean to upset you.
No.
I'm jolly. I'm great. Ho ho ho! I just gotta go. Okay, this is taking forever.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he's got a busy day.
okay. So
wrap
I was
this up.
wondering.
Personal attack.
No, this is not supposed to be a personal attack. This
No,
question
no,
is
of course
particularly.
not.
I just want to know.
I come onto your little radio show. Sorry.
Okay, I just want to know, and a lot of viewers last week were wanting to know what is up. And you mentioned it earlier in the very up top in the episode. What is up with the lap stuff? How do you feel about the lap stuff, especially in mall Santas and stuff? It seems in today's climate of we live in a world where cancellations happen quite often for celebrities and other people. So I want to know. We live in a world that our minds are open. So what
What are you getting at?
I just want to know what your thoughts on the lap stuff when it comes to Santa.
What do you mean the lap stuff? You mean like are you trying to make this a pervert thing?
No. I'm wondering your I'm not saying you came up with it. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on Santa being associated with people sitting on his lap.
I can't be in control of all like the imagery around me, and there's only so much. But look, it's an innocent thing that I do with children, and children they come up and they ask me for gifts. That's
So you
fine.
do it. So you do participate
If
in
the
it.
children do it willingly, I'm not grabbing children and putting them on my lap. Okay.
Okay, but
is that what you're saying?
No. But I'm just confirming you do participate in the lap stuff. It's
Have
not just
I-
small Santas.
Oh, have I done that in the past? Of course. I mean, it's a thing that actually happened very, naturally. When I started spreading gifts and joy and cheer, very quickly a rumor started, you can ask Santa for what you want. And when I used to make more public appearances back then. You know, mostly little kids are brought to me. And when, you know, you look as cool and jolly as me, kids can't help it. They climb up on your lap because they trust you, and they should. I'm Santa Claus, for Christ's sake.
Okay, so you're
right?
going to
Right.
continue. So with this, with this wording, you're going to.
It's not a weird sex thing or anything.
Okay, no, I'm not trying to make it that. I'm just
Those your words. You
No,
know?
I didn't. I never once used any kind of sexual wording. I just said lap stuff because it is.
Lap stuff sounds a little bit like your butt stuff, lap stuff. What do you? I can tell what.
Okay,
you're
well,
trying to
I'm
say.
just saying that. So you're going to continue. So you're confirming you do it, but not only that, you're going to be continuing doing it in the near future.
I mean, okay, come on. If parents are okay with it and the kids are okay with it, as long as there's consent, of course.
Okay, that's all I was wanting to know.
course.
We just I'm just asking the questions the viewers and the executives want me to ask here. I just
Okay, all right. Well, I'd like to see the name of those executives.
Oh, sure. I mean, we can have but again, this is no attack on you. This is nothing personal.
No, of course.
By any
And
sense.
and what I do in repercussions, it won't be an attack of any sort.
Yeah, and also you mentioned earlier, and I want to confirm this because I think we glossed over it. So you do have children? Do you actually have children?
I do have children. And
So-
that's as far as I'd like to take it again, because I have to protect them.
Okay, well, I understand. I'm wondering for, especially viewers who maybe have estranged parents or whatnot, are you estranged from your child? Is that why maybe we haven't heard much about you having a child, or that's not part of your lore? Or is that something that you keep so private? And then that follows back into my Mrs. Claus question, like, what does your child, do?
Well,
Keep it as vague as you want. I don't need names or anything. I think our viewers would be curious on your relationship with your child, your son or your daughter you have.
well, here's what I'll say. My children, plural. I have multiple
Okay.
children. Some of them have some of them help out behind the scenes. Some of them are interested in the family business, as it were, and some of them are, different. I have again, I won't say gender, but they do something completely different. And as a parent, as long as my children are happy, if they wanted to make themselves more, public, that'd be fine. But for the most part, they are very happy with their private life, and I'll keep it at that, to respect them and their boundaries.
Okay, so how often would you say you see your children, though?
Well, as much as a parent can,
I know, but you're one of the busiest people, I'd argue, in the world, and we're very grateful for that.
Yeah,
but I'm just wondering what that is like.
Well, it's imagine being like one of the busiest people in the world, and then also sort of an empty nester. So it's tough. My kids, I'm busy, they're busy. So if I can get them on a phone call once a month, I'm happy at this point.
So are some of them are not in the North Pole?
I can't say. I can't really confirm or deny it. Yeah, but they're all, yeah.
They're amongst the people.
among-
That's very interesting.
yeah.
Thank you, Santa. I appreciate that insight.
Yeah.
I'd also, more importantly here, this is a really heavy question. I don't want you to take this the wrong way. What is your relationship like with God and Jesus? And I'm not saying that in terms of like what's your religion. I would never ask that. I'm more asking because you have now, and especially in American terms, become the mascot of Christmas. And I want to know the origin of Christmas is through Christ and God. So I was wondering what your relationship is with them as friends or acquaintances or whatever that might be.
Especially, we already established earlier that you were around and giving gifts before Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like, how did that-
JC's a cool guy. He's a cool guy.
Okay.
A cool guy. We might not agree on everything, but he's great. He's one of my best Jewish friends. He's one of my best Jewish friends.
Okay, so there's been no animosity between you
No,
kind of
of
becoming
course.
the face of Christmas while he is kind of, as the years go on, becoming less and less.
In terms of my side to him, absolutely not. Have there been maybe some hard feelings coming the other way? Sure. Sometimes old JC would get a little jealous. No one wants to hear that because, he's supposed to, just like me, you're supposed to be giving and caring and all that, and he is above and beyond. No one wants to think about us as people.
Well, I mean, but
feelings.
I don't want to say we have a huge scoop here now, but
Yeah.
but the fact that you're claiming Christ the Redeemer has one of the sins of envy or jealousy is quite a breaking news story.
Well, nobody is a wall, and if anybody pretends they are, that's just covering up something deep inside.
So this idea that we've been presented through the Bible and other teachings that Jesus is kind of is a perfect entity of an extension of God. So you're saying that God then experiences jealousy as well? Is that what you're given to us here?
Well, okay, all right, here's what I'll say. We're getting into that territory again of like me trying to explain just concepts and abstract things to you. If I can't really go too much into it, we'd be here all day. Your heads might explode. Literally, if I talk about God or whatever God. I can't really get into that, boys.
Okay, but I would like to confirm that you were confirming that God and Jesus can feel envy.
I can't. Well, I can't.
That's huge. I mean,
I don't want to speak. I can't say. I maybe in some ways I'm projecting onto them. I can't really speak for another person.
Okay, but you did say he was jealous. I mean, that was
okay. I think you're taking my words and you're twisting them.
No, you said that Jesus was jealous about things. You didn't. I didn't harp on what things. That's personal.
I should have specified. I think that at one point he perhaps might have been envious, but that.
I mean, but even perhaps, Santa, you have to admit that's a huge thing.
Perhaps it's a maybe. It's a maybe. That's all I can say. I can't. I like the guy. We're not like the closest in the world, but I can't really say whether or not if he has jealousy or not in his heart.
Okay. This is my final question.
Okay.
Santa, thank you again for your time. Sorry if any of these questions have gone too far for you. I'd like to ask about how you run the North Pole. It is clearly, based on what we've heard and what you've told us, it is clearly a totalitarianism. And a successful one at that is the longest reigning totalitarianism in today's society. The other one being North Korea, that was founded in 1948. I'm sorry, I'm getting nervous about it because this is a really big question to me. North Korea also has a system very similar to yours, but yours has been around for centuries. What is your secret to a successful totalitarianism? Is it how you keep the elves in line? Is it how you keep the process going or stuff? What's your success to that?
What makes you think we run this sort of regime in your word?
Oh, I didn't use the word. It's just by definition.
What's your definition of this?
Well, it's a central leader that has absolute power, and the people living within it work for that government exclusively and live within that government. Which
What are you getting at?
Well, I'm saying your elves work for you and they live there and they really can't leave. That they don't have enough time to leave.
Oh, they can't leave?
Well, I'm assuming. That's why I'm asking. I want you to explain this. But you do have absolute rule of the North Pole.
You'd say that? That's what you would say?
I mean, it's a fact here.
Where are your facts from?
From the centuries of
Google?
No, from like the centuries of knowing about Santa and
you don't know dip about Santa, okay? I took time out of my schedule to come here and hang out with you boys, and now you're starting to push it a little too far.
No, I'm not like saying that it's a bad. None of it sounds like a bad word, but it's just a way to properly describe.
You think I don't take care of my employees?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm questioning how you treat your employees.
I treat my employees great.
Okay, well that's great.
Okay,
that's great. How do you run a successful regime? I'm going to use your word, your regime. How do you run a successful regime with that many employees and that much land?
Why are you asking this?
You're
trying to ruin everything for all the kids. What are you trying to? You're just trying to get Santa, trying to capture me in a moment.
No.
Get me on Instagram and Santa slave labor. Santa Santa beats his wife. Santa's an old awful man.
These were not things that were ever said by me.
Santa doesn't let the elves eat. Santa doesn't let I almost said slaves. They're not slaves. He doesn't let the elves do anything. All right, what are you trying to get?
No,
at?
I'm just trying.
Why don't you ask yourself, what's the purpose behind asking a good old man like me all these questions? Huh? Why don't you look inside yourself and ask yourself?
I think learning.
Is this because of the belt? Is this because I forgot your present? What is this?
Well, no, I think my viewers genuinely want to know how a government like yours has sustained for centuries when the most recent example is just North Korea in 1948, and that's not even 100 years old. You've been doing it for hundreds and hundreds of years, and I think that's impressive, and I wanted to highlight that.
Do you think I've been doing that with an iron fist? Do you think I've just been grinding the people down into dirt?
Well, I'm wondering
dogs
that.
They don't let them leave. I gun them down. Is that what you think? Is that what you think old Saint Nick does?
No, I'm questioning what you do. I would love to know what you do.
What I do is spread cheer and love, and that's just top down, okay? Everyone's having a great time in the North Pole. It's not some sort of mysterious death factory, okay? It's a factory for presence and love and cheer. And everyone there is there because they want to be there.
Okay, so the secret is just love and cheer. You're saying the secret to successful government that you have created and that you are curating right now is just love and cheer. Is that what you're saying?
Is this your house? Is this where you live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. What's the address here?
I don't think we should give
Well,
that
yeah,
out.
and he's
on
saying
the
we're-
radio.
Come on, give it out. Everyone keeps saying I live in the North Pole. Where's this? Where's this?
Well, we're not giving
We're
out
in
your
Chicago.
exact
Okay,
I
you're
mean-
in Chicago. I'm going to look at the address as I leave. I'm going to make sure to fly over this place.
Oh,
Wow,
to not visit
Austin,
me?
Yep.
Just because I was asking.
You just screwed everybody. In
Everyone.
This
No,
building.
you're not.
Everyone
you
in
don't live
Chicago.
Here.
Can you guys? I'm sorry about this, but can you give your presents back?
You're
You're gonna have to give me your presents back. 'cause
Austin, what the
did
hell,
this.
man?
No, I was asking questions that the viewers want to know. I'm just
Yeah,
doing my
that's
job
what I'm
as a
saying.
journalist.
I feel like it'd be more naughty of me if I refused to give the present back, right?
Yeah.
You all were on this list.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm moving you two to the naughty list.
Oh, well, we haven't done anything.
Okay.
This is a naughty list.
You brought your list with
I
you.
brought my list.
Can we see some of the lists?
Yeah, we can. But I just want to know. I want you all to know. You two are on the naughty list by association.
I'm s-
You're going on the very, very naughty
Why?
list.
Because I'm asking the real questions that
Yes,
people are
'cause you're
scared to ask. Because you
Why are
can't.
you scared?
I'm not scared. I'm saying other people are scared. You've
Why
been
are you quivering?
how many
You're
times?
quivering.
How many times have you been interviewed and you've never answered any of these hard hitting questions?
I'm not
Because
gonna
no one's
answer
been brave
questions.
enough to
No-
do it.
no one's-
So I'm
you know.
I'm proud that I'm brave enough to ask this for my viewers and for
you're
everyone
proud?
around the world to know who Santa is and know who's given them their presents.
Austin, we're not on the good list anymore.
I understand that,
You
but
gotta live
I
with
think
that.
I think journalism integrity is way more important than naughty or nice.
You're just a dirty little piggy. You know that? You should be ashamed of yourself. Asking these dirty questions to a wonderful old saint. I came here in my own time before I delivered presents, and you're asking me about do I beat my wife? Do I piss on my elf?
These questions were never asked. These
No.
were I asked real questions. I gave real numbers and stats. And
Stats. Just go lay an egg, okay? I'm gonna bury you in coal. You know that? I'm just gonna drag all the coal from the North Pole right to this doorstep, and I'm gonna bury you under it, okay?
Okay, well, if we're gonna be a little hostile here, I'm gonna bring out a fact that I wasn't
Oh,
gonna bring
yeah?
up, and I'm gonna
Okay.
bring it up.
Bring it up.
You
Lay
don't
it
have to
on
bring
me.
it up. You don't have to
We've
bring it
had
up.
Lay it
people.
on me.
We've had people with their sleigh dogs and stuff discover small creatures buried in the snow that maybe resemble your elves. Do you have anything to speak about
Jesus Christ.
Small creatures that
that?
resemble
Humanoid
elves?
creatures with pointed ears that are nude in the snow, frozen from the cold.
I don't know
They've been
anything about
found. All their ages seem to be between the ages of 35 and 40 based on autopsies. I just want to know what your thoughts are on that. This is not supposed to be a gotcha thing. I just want to know if you've been made aware of this and if you have anything to say on it.
I don't know anything about that.
You know nothing about any kind of elves or humanoid elf-looking creatures within your vicinity being discovered by these sleigh dogs.
That's I hate to borrow this from the news, but it sounds like a hoax. Sounds like a ho hoax.
Well, why would someone even want to hoax you?
Amazing question. I mean, maybe it's just the day. Everyone's tainted and evil nowadays, and I'm providing a service to everybody, and it's people like you want to just bring me down.
I'm
you
asking
know?
a question that was in the news. I did.
Who
I
wrote that news article?
This was the New York Post.
that was the New York Post. Naughty. They're not getting a single present.
Oh,
Not
my
Oh,
a
God.
just
single present.
well, they're reporting on a
I think
fact,
they
and
kinda
now they're
tried.
naughty.
No,
Is that what that is?
I'm gonna just hold on. I'm gonna add that to the naughty list, and I'm gonna go ahead and add just journalists to the naughty list this year.
What?
Whoa.
Just journalists. in
Okay,
general.
well, okay. Well, that's extremely harsh,
I mean,
Santa, and I
that's a
think
bit
you know
harsh.
that's harsh.
All journalists?
Well, I mean, they got to do their job. They got to do their job right. They got to get their facts straight. Okay, who's coming up to the North Pole and making up this BS? Huh?
Well, Santa, if elves are dying, are you saying that you don't take any responsibility for?
Why would I take responsibility? They're my employees. Okay, why would I take any responsibility?
So
over
you're
their
saying
deaths?
that? So is there a deceased problem with the elves?
Look, if there is a problem with the deceased problem with elves, it's not my responsibility. Okay, for the record, they're my employees. I take zero culpability, any responsibility for them. Okay?
So you're saying if this is not a hoax, you're not going to take any responsibility for your employers that live within your land.
why would I?
It's your
They're
employees.
it's their job. They show up and they do their job. I'm their boss. Why would I give a Why would I give a darn about anything they do on their own time? Huh?
Well-
it's not my responsibility. I wash my hands of it.
Well, they live on your land. You own the North Pole. It's your government. I just want to know, why would you not take any, I'm not even saying full responsibility.
I'm not saying I'm not sad when they die, but why would I? How
but
am I
you can't,
responsible
but
for
can
my
you take
employees'
even
death?
a percentage of responsibility?
No. Of course not. If
I mean-
if one of them got their hands cut off in like one of our machines? Absolutely. But that's never happened. We have a tip-top, excellent record. If they die just in the snow somewhere, how is that my problem, huh? How is that my problem?
I just can't
Who
believe
knows
that.
if little buddy over there had a couple too many sips of the old brandy, too much of the old, eggnog. If they wander off into the snow and they get eaten, or if they die of frost, how is that my fault?
I feel like it's a little bit of your responsibility.
You seem so,
I don't know.
but you seem so bitter about it. You seem like you see the lack of empathy coming from you is very, I don't mean to call it out, but it is quite noticeable on these cameras and on this microphone. Like, people are seeing this, Santa.
Boys, you're going down a road that you cannot turn back from, okay? I'm going to give you this warning right now. You need to stop this gotcha journalism. You need to knock it off right now.
This is not gotcha journalism. I'm just reading facts.
I'm telling you right now, you got to knock it off. If you don't stop it, I'm never coming back on this podcast, and you're absolutely not coming. You're not coming to my
you're
theater.
on our naughty list.
You're not coming to my theater.
You're
not watching Avatar. You're not watching Avatar. You're not watching.
I've already
But
seen
I really,
it.
I wanted this. I really
seen
wanted the North Pole 40X.
Well, you don't get that anymore. Okay, maybe you could have come and seen that behind closed doors instead of really pouncing on me and doing this gotcha journalism. And well, now this is ruined. Okay, this is ruined. Naughty list, very naughty list.
I don't. I think
You want to see the very naughty list? You don't want to be in the company of these people. Okay, let me see where this one. You notice black book. You're gonna go on the other page, but look at that.
Oh, it's
all redacted.
Yeah, you know who's on that list. Okay,
Oh.
is that
you
just?
know
Is
who's
it,
on
you
that
have
list.
the Epstein list on our radio show?
I can. Well.
I feel there's quite a bit of overlap.
Yeah, did you just
that's-
add me to the Epstein list? Is that what just happened? Did Santa
Well,
just add me to the Epstein
I
list?
think
Well, here's the
Santa
thing.
added Austin to the Epstein list.
Here's what I'll say. This is the Epstein list. I'm going to put you one slot above it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm above Bill Clinton? Are
Oh,
are
yeah.
you joking?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Hey, this is my last one. Get fucked.
Wow.
Wow.
That's.
I don't feel bad about that one.
I think
either.
this was an extremely inappropriate guess, and I apologize. I even wrote to him.
I feel bad I came in because what a waste of time.
It was not a waste of
wasn't
time.
a
This
waste.
was
We
really
had a
insightful, I think, to
fun
people, and I think
time.
that you need to open up a little more.
I still
if I give you a
enjoyed-
personal I'm gonna take the glass off. If I give you a personal little piece of advice, you need to open up a little more and take responsibility for your employees.
I was having fun until Austin started being.
Oh, why are you ganging up on me now?
Because
you guys let me do the segment.
What do you boys think about just keeping me on as a permanent host and get Austin out of here? He keeps weaseling in with all these weird little fucking questions. Sorry, that one I'm sorry about.
No,
He asked too many questions.
Santa, with all due respect, somebody who swears this much and this freely,
I don't think it would.
I think we won't last long in the air. So I think you have to
Judging
leave.
me? You're judging me?
I am, and I think you have to leave. the
Yeah,
studio.
well, here's what I'll say. Here, I'll go. You all can just, you can all just die in a ditch for all I care. And, only God can judge me. That's right. God is real. Get fucked. Just on that. Get fucked.
Can you grab his list so we can see who's on
Yeah,
the list? I feel like.
I mean, that
before
was
he forgets
incredible. He left.
Well, there's
Very
that.
naughty.
That one's
It's very
all
naughty.
he
blacked out.
literally walked out the door.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
He didn't go out the chimney either, which is surprising.
Taika Waititi, top of the naughty
Naughty
list.
list.
No, oh my God.
No. Give me that.
We wanted to know who was on the nice list and who was on the naughty list.
Where's your camera? So right there. See it?
I think it might be out of focus.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
if we
way
could
out of
see. You might
focus.
need a.
Whatever.
Just keep
Okay.
it. Just keep it.
Wow.
I mean, that was inappropriate, right? That was
That
totally
seemed pretty
uncalled for.
inappropriate.
Was I out of line? I asked the question. I wrote him these questions, and he still
Yeah.
came. He knew what I was going to ask.
Yeah, I don't think you were necessarily out of line,
you
but
mean necessarily?
it was hostile. It was a little hostile.
well, he started.
but
I'm not.
I know,
I'm not.
I know.
I have to, as a journalist, I have to have a backbone.
Yeah, I appreciate your.
You even got in there with some questions.
Yeah, I know.
You set up the stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate your consistency though. Like I think like I probably would have been too scared. I would have chickened out. I think.
Oh,
No, I was chickening out the whole time. I was very tense the entire time.
Okay, sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to create that environment, but I am proud.
No, it's
You know,
okay. I
I'm
think-
personally
No, it's
proud of
fine.
myself that I feel like we got some good journalism out of him, and
Yeah.
now maybe the people
was
can
it
see the
worth it?
people can see the real Santa.
Yeah, you know what I was gonna ask for next year? I was gonna ask for my medication to be covered, and now I'm on the naughty list. So
We all know Santa doesn't do this, or else there'd be peace in the Middle East. You know that.